A J Mix exclusive.
Hey, this is D. Mark, Machiavelli Man, kicking it with J Mix.
What it do, world? This is the legendary Cocaine, and I'm kicking it with J Mix.
What's good? It's your man Money B. Sending a super shout out to the homie J Mix and everybody at 2pac's.
Man, this is Robert Ponche kicking it with J Mix. And you know, I'm from the scope. Fillmore. We make 100 more. J Mix.
This is Phil Booster kicking it with J Mix on 2pac News.
This is Mike Mosley kicking it with J Mix.
Hello all, it's J Mix here, and I'd like to welcome all my YouTube subs and viewers to my latest installment with Machiavelli producer Darryl Harper. Darryl, where were you when you had heard that 2pac had passed away?
I was in the studio. I was working with another group from Long Beach. Kind of like do some work. I kind of wanted to play they stuff to Suge once I had a few things on them, and I was working with them. And what happened was I had missed the entourage going to Vegas by going home to watch my son. I was a single parent at the time, and I went home to make sure my son had the babysitter because I was going to be gone for like a day and a half or whatever. And when I got home, I fell asleep. I told the secretary to call me when Suge and them got back to do the little entourage to drive down there. I dozed off, and the secretary didn't call me, so I missed the trip to go to Vegas. And so what I did was I drove to Long Beach. The next day, got a group that I had been messing with, and we were going over some things. And this is weird. I'll tell you what's going on. I had this melody that I had been playing with. It's kind of pop. It's kind of R&B pop. It's just a slow song. And I had also been messing with that. I didn't know where the song was going, what it was headed to, or whatever it was. I just loved the chord structure of it or whatever, and I kept messing with it. I was messing with it for over a month. I had showed a few other producers there that, and I didn't know where I wanted to go with it, what it was going to talk about. And we looked up at the screen in the studio, and it was saying Tupac Shakur died, and the whole studio went in pandemonium. It was really only a few people there because they were already, most of the people were in Vegas. So the few girls that were there were running up and down the hall crying and whatever like that, and I didn't even know how to act. I was just leaning over in my chair, and all the other guys was patting on me. Man, I'm sorry, man, what? And we couldn't really believe it. And it was like magic, Jesse. I went to the what we called the vault where we kept our tracks at. Suge wouldn't let it. We got to a point where Suge wouldn't let us bring our songs out of the studio. People were getting them into the swap meets and stuff like that and selling stuff. So he made it where you couldn't get out of the studio with whatever you worked on that day, whatever it was. So I went to the vault, got a DAT of the song that I had been messing with for a month. And when you know, it ended up being a song that I wrote for Tupac when he died. And I sung it at the Death Row meeting when they all got back from Vegas. And when I sung the song, it wasn't a dry eye. I'm talking about Snoop, the Outlaws, Hammer, the group we had, Bugatti, so 4 girls for that Rage had brought here, 6 Feet Deep, Yo-Yo, everybody. It wasn't a dry eye in the place. And I sung that song, and now I've sung it at a few funerals. Just actually sung it last month and a half ago. My mom passed, and I had to sing it at that. So, yeah.
What is the song called?
It's called, I call it the farewell song. It was first Farewell Tupac, but I just kind of took the Tupac part off because I tell people what it was written for, but I don't call it that. I just call it the farewell song now. But I remember when I originally wrote it, it was Farewell Tupac, because it don't say that in the song anyway. It don't never say farewell, don't never say Tupac, but it was a song about a guy losing a friend, and the hook gets you talking about Heavenly Father, open your door. It's time to make room for one more. you know, and it goes on with the hook. And it wasn't a dry eye in there. And every time I see the Outlaws, the first thing they want to hear from me is me sit down at the piano and sing that song. First thing they want to hear, before they actually hear any new tracks or whatever, they want, man, sing that song you wrote for Pop, man. So, yeah. And I'll tell you, look, I'll give you another little story with that because it goes deeper than that. They all came back from Vegas. We were all in a death row meeting. Everybody's sad. Everybody just started individually singing songs dedicated to Pop. You know, songs like speaking in basic with the spirit of farewell or I miss you or like songs like that. They were standards that already had been out, published work. And everybody just picked a song and sung it, you know, we miss you like the one they did, We Miss You Donnie by the Whispers, and people were just singing songs dedicated to Pop. My boy Reggie Lamb walked over to me in the middle of the meeting and said, hey man, you're the only one with a full song with background to the whole band. Because, you know, when I did that song that night, when I realized where I was going with the song, I brought a band in. I brought players in. I brought singers in to do the background. And we finished the song before they even got back from Vegas. So he came and snuck to me and said, man, you ought to go get your song. You're the only one with a whole song for Pop already completed. So I listened to him. I snuck out of the meeting, went and got it. I went to the vault, got my deck, and I went to the back studio. The back studio in Canada was near Suge's office. Everybody in there talking quiet and listening to people sing. So it was like really solemn in there. So you could almost hear a pin drop aside from the person singing. I didn't look at the council. Whoever used the studio before me had the music like we do at Death Row blasting. So when I put my daddy in and cue it up, the song like screaming, you know. And I heard Silk say, who the F is in my studio? And I heard the very same guy who asked me to go get it. Reggie Lamb, that's D. Harper in your studio. He said, tell that mother, come here. So I got to the doorway of the meeting, and she'll grab me by the back of my neck and said, are you dissing Tupac? Is you disrespecting Tupac? And it took everything. I mean, how do you let a man grab you by your neck? I mean, it's really, how do you, but you looking at into a meeting, you walking into, everybody furious. Everybody's on this, they mad. We had this rumor we couldn't be touched. And we had just got touched. We just lost Pop. They would have torn me to limbs. So I looked at, turned my neck around a little bit just to catch a glance of his face while he got his hand around my neck. And I said, Suge, I wrote a song for Pop, and it's already finished. I had to go over there and get it. I didn't know the council was loud. He said, good. And it better be tight, because you up next. So as soon as his homeboy Hug finished singing, I put the song in, queued it up, sung it, and it wasn't a dry eye in the place. And when I finished, Suge said, when it's real, you feel it. And I mean, everybody was crying. The Bugatti and them was around in like an Indian circle on the ground, sitting down with their legs crossed, and all the girls was crying. Snoop was over by the little piranha tank with the Outlaws, and they was crying. There wasn't no dry eye in there. So that was the history of that song right there. Yeah.
Once again, this is J-Mix here, and I'd like to thank all my YouTube subs and viewers. I've got more with Darryl coming soon. I'll see everybody on the next upload. One love, everybody.
A J-Mix exclusive.
What up, shut up?